This presentation will discuss the Title II Part A Prioritization of Funds requirement. This requirement is part of the random validation process for the 2022-2023 school year. Before we begin, we would like to point out that documenting overall compliance for a program requirement may require several forms of documentation to be maintained locally and available upon request by TEA and/or an auditor. To ensure overall compliance with program requirements, LEAs should refer to the program guide and/or other program-related resources that reference the multiple forms of documentation required to be maintained locally. The documentation requested for submission during the random validation process may not include all forms of documentation that are required to be maintained locally. Title II Part A statute requires that the LEA prioritize the use of Title IIA funds to schools that are under Title I school improvement and have the highest percentage of low-income children. Acceptable evidence for prioritization of funds will be documentation that shows the Title IIA activities and their costs for each campus within the LEA demonstrated that funds were prioritized to schools served by the LEA under Title I school improvement and to schools that have the highest percentage of low-income children. Issues that may result in an improvement needed status include auditable documentation requested was not submitted. Documentation submitted does not demonstrate how Title II Part A activities or funds were prioritized to campuses. Prioritization was not related to school improvement status or low income percentage. Or documentation from a prior year was submitted instead of a current year documentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If you have any questions, please reach out to gerardo.ramirez@tea.texas.gov. My desk phone number, 512-463-9390, or our division phone number, 512-463-9499, as well as our division email address, support@tea.texas.gov.